Welcome to the Luxury Listing Specialist Podcast with Michael Lafitte, where top luxury agents reveal their best practices, plus interviews with real estate industry influencers, thought leaders, and luxury marketing experts. You'll come away from each episode with new strategies and tactics to dominate high-end homes in any market. And now for the latest episode of Luxury Listing Specialist. Here's your host, luxury real estate expert, coach, and trainer, Michael Lafitte.
Welcome back to another episode of Luxury Listing Specialist Podcast. You're in the right place. If you're an agent, a broker owner, a team leader, an expansion leader, and you're looking to work smarter, not harder, as we're coming to a close of 2018, as we start planning our goals, and many of you already have planned your goals for 2019. We want you to work smarter, not harder, and have the proper tools and resources to help your clients, to help you, but indirectly, of course, and directly help your clients sell more homes, sell their home faster for more money in 2018 or 19. So I'm your host, Michael Lafitte. Again, you can find previous episodes on iTunes or Stitcher, or you can go to luxurylistingpodcast.com, Luxury Listing Podcast. We have some great interviews, so if you're just tuning in for the first time, make sure you go to luxurylistingpodcast.com or a previous episode on iTunes or Stitcher. We have some amazing interviews, and I'm really excited about today as well. Before I introduce our next guest, just a reminder, a lot of times we're getting emails, hey, where can I find out more information about your certification, your book? Our book, Luxury Listing Specialist, it's on Amazon. You can go to Amazon and look up Luxury Listing Specialist. And for more information on our certification, you can go to luxurylistingspecialist.com, luxurylistingspecialist.com. We're going to be doing our 12th and 13th live certification training in December in the Chicagoland market. And if you're interested in about 2019, or you're interested in having us host a training at your facility, at your office, or in your market, simply send us an email to michael@marketingluxurygroup.com, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com. All right. With that being said, I'm so excited to have today's guest, Christophe Choo from Coldwell Banker out in Beverly Hills. Him and I met for the first time at the Inman Luxury Conference in October. By the way, if you haven't been to an Inman Luxury Conference, it's called Inman Luxury Connect. It's every October. It's amazing. I've gone to 3 of them in a row. Great networking, great content. Brad Inman and his team have done an amazing job today. But today I have Christophe Choo. Christophe, you there?
I'm here. How are you, Michael?
I'm doing excellent today. Thank you for blocking off a good half hour to provide some great content and conversation to our listeners. I know your time is very valuable, so thank you.
I love that, and thank you for having me. And I loved your opening line, work smarter, not harder. That's one of the keys of life.
It absolutely is. I tell people all the time I'm a recovering control freak and perfectionist. You got to be able to delegate.
Freak, so I'm not recovering yet.
You're not recovering yet, yeah. So I'm still controlling our photos and our videos, but I've learned to delegate out some things. But first off, congratulations. Last week it was just announced that you are the #1 real estate video influencer in North America by a company that I use and I recommend called BombBomb. So congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, it was very exciting to have been voted #1 out of 1,300 nominees around North America. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool, and indeed, what a big accomplishment, because I know some of the others that have been nominated, and you're #1. Last year you were in the top 10, but this year you're #1, so congratulations.
It's always good to be #1.
Yes, it is. Yes,
now,
the bar's
what can I do different to be #1 again next year, right?
That's exactly right. That bar's high now, right? So
yeah, once you're #1, you're like, okay, immediately I'm like, oh, that's nice, but shoot, what am I going to do this year to make it again #1 next year? So
That's right.
I'm sure you understand that.
Yeah. Well, hey, congratulations, and
well
deserved. So tell us a little bit about your background a little bit. So you're based in the Beverly Hills market, and how long have you been in that market? And you're with Coldwell Banker Global Luxury. And so just tell us a little background on who you are. And I know we talked offline, so you currently work as an individual, not a team. But tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, so I started off, I've been working since I was very young. Most people think that I was born from a rich family, born and raised in Beverly Hills, and that's how I ended up in the luxury world. Well, nothing could be further from the truth. I was born in an area of L.A. called Echo Park, Silver Lake, when I was young. Lived there. My mom was a hairdresser. My stepdad worked in a rare book art dealing business. And I had to work since I was 12 years old. I was kind of born, even though my parents were not wealthy, hardworking, my mom, hardworking people. I was born with a dream and a desire to live a fancy life, and luckily a luxury life, I should say, since we're on the luxury cast. And I was fortunate enough that even though my parents were not wealthy, being half French, half Korean, I got to travel pretty much every summer either to Europe or to Asia to visit relatives and family, and I was very much exposed to other cultures at a very young age. So that opened my eyes and exposed me to luxury and wealth, because, when you're 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, and this was happening every year, and you'd go to France and you visit Versailles and you visit the chateaus in the Loire Valley and you see these incredible homes and properties, and it kind of opened my eyes to the world of luxury, even though we were not living a luxury life, because my mom's family were just regular poor folk from the south of France with farms and farm animals and that kind of thing. So starting young, I worked 12 years old cleaning apartments for my mom's customers. At 16, I valet parked cars. I worked as a cashier at Dupar's. I worked at the Hollywood Bowl. And I was a fashion model. I was discovered, and I was asked to be a model, and I did that for about 4 years. And at 18, traveling quite a bit all over the world, my wife now of 25 years said, "You need a more stable job." And I thought, well, what did you have in mind? She said, "How about real estate?" Well, at 18, I didn't know anything about real estate. My perception was, I can drive a fancy car, I can show pretty houses, and I can be my own boss and make a lot of money. I didn't realize that, selling real estate was a whole different thing, and that it was a lot of work, and there was such a thing as an escrow and title and loans and insurance. I just had no clue. I mean, I was 18 and didn't know. But I got my license. I started working, and I actually interviewed the first office of John Douglas Company back in the day in like 1989, I think it was, and they wouldn't hire me. The manager, she said, what do you want to do? What's your goal? I said, I want to make $1 million a year and drive a Rolls Royce. Well, she thought I was nuts, so she didn't hire me. So I then went to the next closest office, which was in Hancock Park, about a 5-mile drive from my family's home, because I was still living at home, and she hired me. And first year I did everything that normal agents do. I did the up desk or floor desk, 2-3 times a week, getting those incoming calls. I was doing open houses twice a week, just kind of sitting and waiting for business to happen. And nothing was happening. So I did, I think, within the first year, one sale of a $43,000 co-op that I sold, and made I remember $1,736 was my first commission check.
Oh, my goodness.
And the manager said, you haven't really done well. You need to get your business going, or you're going to be out of the office in 90 days. So I went to a seminar, and I learned how to start prospecting. And it was a Roger Butcher seminar. I don't know if you remember him, but
Roger Butcher. I don't know him.
This is back in the 80s or early 90s, and it was just basically calling expired listings in for sale by owners. It gave us some scripts. He told us to do that, and since I didn't know anyone at my age at 18 that was going to buy or sell a house, that's what I started doing. And little by little, I started doubling my business every single year, and started getting into coaching a couple years after that when I started making some money. And now it's 30 years later, and I moved to Beverly Hills probably about 20 years ago, or just almost 20 years ago, because I knew in my heart Beverly Hills was where I needed to be. Hancock Park is a beautiful community. It's about 5 miles east of Beverly Hills. At that time when I moved, the top end of the market was about $4 million. My average price at that time was about $280,000, and I was doing maybe 60, 65 transactions a year. But I knew I was the big fish I was the little fish in the big, I was the big fish in the little sea, and I needed to be in a different environment. And so I decided I'm going to move to Beverly Hills, which I did in one day, and I started my career here, and the rest is history. And I love what I do, and my business now is primarily luxury, although we sell everything, but I'm really tuned into the luxury marketplace. So that's kind of the beginnings of my career.
Well, that's very thorough, but I love it. So tell me a little bit about, you got to Beverly Hills. Let's fast forward a little bit, because one of the things that you're known for, of course, is video and social media. And so, the big nugget I'm hoping that people take away from today's episode is video. And I was just last week in Jupiter, Florida doing the training, and not one hand was raised as far as video is concerned. Nobody was doing any kind of Facebook Lives or any kind of property videos in that particular market. So
really, wow.
And that, Jupiter's got some amazing properties. So tell me a little bit about, because again, listeners, we know that there's some hurdles. We know that the vast majority of agents aren't using video, whether it be free video, like i.e. Facebook Live, Instagram Live, social media videos. Too, of course, there's property videos, and now we're having people where they're bringing in rappers and they're spending $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 on video. So that's maybe a little bit more advanced. So let's focus maybe on some how you first incorporated video and your first, I guess, maybe video. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so it's video journey. So I've been, very honored to be #1 video influencer in North America for 2018, and it was for the overall category, because in today's world, there's so many kinds of videos, and I literally do all types of videos: live Instagram, live Facebook, live Twitter, YouTube videos, high production videos for $40, $50, $60 million homes, just videos on my iPhone. I do every kind of video possible, and that video journey started probably in, I think it was either 2005 or 2006. I had my first $30 million listing at that time, and I felt that this property, and I'd been on a couple TV shows already at that point, and I thought, well, TV is something people watch, and I thought, well, why not start creating videos for my properties? And I think I was probably one of the first brokers in the industry to do videos. So I started doing videos of my listings. Wasn't doing a lot of it, but it was mostly the high-end ones. But I had this gorgeous $30 million listing, and I thought, let me do a video about it. So I did that. And, little by little, doing little videos here and there. But I think it was in 2008 or 2009. Tom Ferry's been my coach for quite a number of years now, and I was at a conference with him and his group called the Inner Circle. And Gary Vaynerchuk came to speak, and he talked about videos. And Google had just purchased YouTube that year. And he said, you guys need to start doing videos and go on social media. I was really not on social media at that time. And so that really resonated with me, because with videos, prior to that, it was all websites and blogging, which I was doing. But, I'd go to an event or a party or take a listing, and I'd have to post the photos, write the description. I'm not a writer, so it was difficult to do that. So when Gary said start doing videos, he says, you're in Beverly Hills. Your lifestyles of the rich and famous. You need to be he said very specifically, you need to be a DJ for content in your community. So that made sense, because I like to go to clubs, and, what do DJs do? They take different albums and they mix them and they spin them and they put them out to the public. So that afternoon I ran out to the Best Buy, or Good Guys, and I bought my first flip cam video camera.
Oh, sure, the flip.
The flip cam,
yep.
That was the first one. And I did my first video, first personal video, because I joined the social medias that evening, and I did a video talking about why the heck I'm in Palm Springs in the middle of August and 118 degrees. I was at a conference learning, growing, and trying to build my business so I can help my clients achieve their goals in buying and selling. So that's kind of how videos started in 2009, and it was just such a natural thing for me to do, because to me, all my videos, pretty much all my videos, except for the production ones, I turn on the camera, I do one take, no edits, no scripts, and I just put it out there. Because I speak from the heart. I'm really myself on the videos, and it seems to have worked out quite well. So I've been doing that now for quite a number of years, and it's been a progression, because even today on my YouTube channel, we have like 7,300,000 views, like 23,000 subscribers, and every couple weeks we'll get a comment on one of my first videos that were just terrible. I mean, noisy, shaky, and I say, well, those were the first ones, and we've come a long way since that original first videos. So it's been a progress, and everything in life, it takes practice and work and planning, but it's something I love to do, and I know, 87% of consumers want videos, but yet I think only 9 to 11% of brokers are actually doing it. So I'm just continuing to do it. I'm continuing to think of new ways to do it, and become kind of, what they call a video influencer. So a lot of companies will give me their cameras and technology to try out, and do videos, and so it's great. So I'm always one where I hear something that I think is interesting or new or unique, because I always want to be not on the cutting edge, but ahead of the cutting edge. I want to be doing things today that brokers will start doing in a couple years. And now, a fair number of brokers are doing videos, but the first 2-3 years of me doing videos, all the brokers were not happy about it. I was doing community videos and videos about neighborhoods and showing houses on the market that were for sale that weren't even my listings. I was just saying, look at this beautiful house just came on the market in Beverly Hills, but brokers didn't like it. They didn't like that I was doing it and I was promoting their properties. But in my mind, I was kind of like a
trailblazer
TV host. Yeah, exactly. I was a TV host sharing about the lifestyle of Beverly Hills, because to me, people, when they come to buy from me, they're not buying a home, they're buying the lifestyle. They're buying the home, and they're buying the shopping, the restaurants, the parties, the social scene, the beaches, the skiing an hour away. They're buying that whole lifestyle. So I would create videos showing the lifestyle that I'm selling. But now today, all these brokers that didn't like it back in 2006 and 7 and 8 are all now doing what I started doing many years ago. That's the way it is,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're an early adapter.
Hey there, it's Michael Lafitte. Thanks again for listening to our podcast. If you are interested in signing up for our Luxury Listing Specialist certification, or if you want additional information on how you can dominate selling higher-end homes in your marketplace, make sure you go to luxurylistingspecialist.com.
For those of you that are listening, I want to circle back to some of the points that he mentioned. So first off, some of us are more comfortable in front of a camera than others. So you're able to, one edit or no edits, right? Just one time recorded and bang it out. But a couple things that I really want to emphasize the importance of video. One of the side benefits to all of this, of course, is your authenticity. If you're in front of a video and you're talking and you're not coming across salesy, but you're just talking about content, something that you're very passionate about or that you know in the back of your hand, your authenticity will come through, which makes you more likable and believable and trustworthy, which is half the battle when you're talking about real estate, let alone high-end and luxury real estate. Would you agree with that, Christophe?
Absolutely, I agree 100%. And I talked about this on a video last week because, I do a lot of conferences and I speak a lot about marketing and videos and all that. And I always like to poll the audience. And it seems to be, like you just said, the number one issue is people are afraid to be on camera, which is very surprising to me, because I don't feel that way whatsoever. And I talk about this all the time. I said, what people don't realize is every day we as brokers are human beings. We're out face-to-face with our friends and family and customers and clients or at the market. And we're out there. We're talking to people, and we're discussing life or real estate or whatever we're doing. That's who we are. So there's no difference between that and being on the camera. The only difference is the camera turned on recording what you're saying. So I say, forget about how you look. Forget about what you think you are. We're human beings. We all are imperfect. And just talk from the heart. And, people get so caught up in how they look and their hair. Like when I was on my TV show for 4 years as a cast member, they would talk about sometimes they do shoots, and they'd have to do like 50, 80, 100 takes. People be so nervous, but there's nothing to be nervous on. You're just having a conversation with a friend or a client. It just happens to be the camera's on recording you, and that's how you are. That's who you are. And you look the same with the camera on or with the camera off. So it doesn't make a difference. So just be yourself, keep being who you are, and just turn the camera on. Just don't be fearful of it. You have nothing to lose, but you have a lot to gain.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's pros versus cons. There's a lot more to gain than there is a lot more to lose, and you're absolutely right. I find many people, let's face it, we're our biggest critics sometimes, right? Some of us, don't like the way we look, or we got to lose weight, or we got to, our hair, or whatever. And that's, as goofy as it sounds, that's some of the reasons that people aren't jumping in these videos as well. But I just say, just do it, put yourself out there, and like you mentioned, your first couple of videos, you naturally get better at it, just like riding a bike or anything for that matter. But you got to get out there, you baptism by fire. Sometimes just do it, force yourself to do it. But, you can even pretend like the camera's recording and do a rehearsal one time or twice or 3 times. Now, you don't need to do that. And I'm at the point where I don't either. But let's face it, some of my videos, I do a lot of educational videos out there for real estate agents. You can go to luxredefined.com, LUXE, redefine mydefine.com on our video blog. But sometimes those are my second or my third takes because sometimes I do mess up. So, you know, let's face it, you know, we all learn differently. We all present differently. So don't feel like you have to be like Christophe, or even maybe you take 10 takes before but get out there and do it and practice.
Exactly.
And you pointed out information about your community, maybe about certain homes, maybe about certain businesses. I always say tips for buyers, tips for sellers, community highlights, most commonly asked questions and answers through the real estate transaction. Are there any other topics that you recommend?
There's so many wonderful topics. I want to go back one quick point about the videos. So I think I have 23 or 2,400 videos online on my YouTube channel, and I've done many other live ones on Facebook and those kinds of things. But even last week I did my monthly luxury real estate market update, which I do every month, where I talk about on camera about what's going on in the marketplace. And when it was being with the closed captioning, with the words on the bottom, when I was reviewing it, I realized in this that it was an 18-minute video. I said the word because when I was transitioning between a sentence, instead of saying because, but just normal talking, I said because. I don't know why I said that. I said it probably 10 times in the video, and I said the word in between sentences about 10, 15 times in the video. And I'm like, oh, geez, I don't want it to sound like that. But, I do watch my videos occasionally and try to learn from them, because even now, 14 or 10 years later, I'm still making mistakes, but the video's online, and people might say, well, you sound stupid because you said cuz 10 times. Well, that's what I said. But at least the content is good.
Right. So look, it's what you focus on, right? I mean, if somebody's going to be skeptical and they focus on negative, they'll find negative in you and me and everybody, right?
There's always an naysayers. And the funny thing is, with most of my live videos or my one-take recorded videos, I'll say something silly or stupid, and I'll laugh at myself in the video, and I just put it on there, and people love that. People. What's the number one thing that people watch now on TV the last 15 years? Reality TV. So they want you to be real. They want you to be natural. And I'm in Beverly Hills. I'm in the most luxurious marketplace in the country, and it's not the world. I dress kind of flashy and fancy, and so it's really good for me to be very raw and natural on camera, because then people can relate to you. And if someone picks up the phone and calls you, and when people call me about listing or potentially working with them as a buyer, the first thing is, well, how'd you find out about me? And if they say to me, oh, I saw your videos, and that's why I'm calling you, they already like me, because they wouldn't call me if they didn't like me. Now, I'm sure there's some that watch my videos that say, I can't stand that guy. I would never work with that guy. And that's okay. You're just going to put the content out there, and you will attract the ones that you do want. And so just, like I said, be yourself. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to say silly things. That's okay. That's just part of the process of doing videos.
Yeah, that's a great reminder. But the name of the business, especially when it comes to high-end and luxury, is referrals and attracting opportunities. And nothing wrong with prospecting. I recommend that for agents just breaking into luxury, just like you mentioned when you first got in the business. That's what one of your mentors suggested to you. Yep. But with that being said, you will attract the right opportunities if you're putting yourself out there and you're giving yourself a chance. Be found. I tell people all the time in our business, if somebody, lists their home with you and they're in your database, your sphere, and they didn't contact you, you got to have a serious hard look in the mirror and say, why didn't they contact me? Is the first reason I'm not putting myself out there? I'm not staying in touch with my sphere and my database. And video is a key component of that. So,
And then now, aside from the marketing videos to market myself, to build my brand, to market a property, to market the community, to market specific businesses, to market events in the community, whether it's the art show or the car show or a charity event. I mean, in the last 5 days and this week, I'm doing a Sleepout in Hollywood, where I literally sleep out on the street of Hollywood, which I've done now 5 years, 5 different times, to raise money and awareness for homeless youth. So I do videos about everything. And, 2 weeks ago we went out. We shot some videos on the street at the homeless shelter, sharing that particular cause. And this week we're going to do more videos, and then Thursday night when we're sleeping out, I'll be doing live videos and recorded videos all night long, sharing what it feels like to be laying on the street on a cardboard box in the elements, and to raise money and awareness to help get homeless youth off the street. So, yeah, videos can be done about anything and everything, and that's what I do. I talk about if it just comes to me and I feel like I want to talk about it on video, I pull out my camera, I talk about it, and I post the video. That's just how I do it. It has to be natural from the heart and from the soul, and that seems to be what really works and what people want to see.
Well, that's great. If it's, first off, that's great that you do that. So 5 years you've been doing this as far as to raise awareness and money for the homeless.
Yep.
Yeah, that's, here we are. We're filming, or we're recording this. It's going to be out in a few weeks, but we're talking about this, and we're recording this actually the day after Veterans Day, and a lot of homeless, whether it be veterans or just wherever across the country, and being aware of those that are needy, especially as we come into the holiday season. We need to be aware of it all parts of the year. But congratulations to you for doing that.
Thank you.
That's great.
And I've always shared with people that when you do what you love and you do things from the heart, business just comes to you naturally. So when I first joined Covenant House and their board 12, 13 years ago and started working to help, the cause of homeless youth in Los Angeles and California, I did it just to do it to help the kids. And much to my surprise, I have gotten a lot of business from just doing that. Never asking for business, but by doing those things and sharing the cause, people will gravitate towards you or be attracted to you because that's something that's important to them for whatever reason, and they'll want to support you both in the cause and at some point, which has happened in business, because they're like, well, if I'm going to sell my house and I like this guy or I like what he does to help others, I'd rather sell my house with him than someone who doesn't care. So just be yourself, share who you are, share the causes that are important to you, whether it's animals, trees, homeless people, medical causes, your school, and just do it from the heart. And I think naturally people will be attracted to you and want to do business with you because of you trying to help others.
Yeah, that is a huge takeaway. A lot of times we're looking for overcoming objections or scripts and all these things to convert more clients, which is great. I mean, that the more knowledge you have, the more confidence you have, the more you'll step out of your comfort zone. I always tell that to agents: grow your knowledge and your confidence grows.
Absolutely.
But the key point that Christophe talked about is being authentic. So people want to do business with people they like and they trust and have some kind of similarities. We call that affinity. So, have you ever gone on a listing appointment and they went with somebody else and you knew you had a better knowledge base and you were more aggressive and a better marketer, but perhaps you missed that important step. Maybe you weren't likable. Maybe you went right into your presentation. I'm a big DISC personality profile guy, but if you didn't build that affinity and you weren't maybe likable or trustworthy because you went right into your presentation, that could be a reason why perhaps you didn't get that appointment.
Yeah, especially in the luxury market, people have to love you, trust you, like you, and respect you, and feel like you're part of their world before they'll do business with you. But the trust and respect and honesty is so important. I remember I've been doing videos for about 4 years, and Tom was my coach, and I remember saying to Tom on our calls, Tom, when am I going to monetize this? When am I going to monetize this? Because, for me as a businessman, if I do a new marketing thing or something, I want it to be monetized. So he says, just keep doing what you're doing. It's going to happen. And I just, I'm an impatient person. So I'm like 4 years, nothing's happening. So I just kept doing it. And I remember it was one of the best stories. And today there's still a client and very good friend. I got an out of the blue call on a weekday at like 9 o'clock in the morning. My assistant puts it through. A lady wants to talk about buying a house. Started a conversation with her, 45-minute conversation, and she'd been working with another agent in our company that I knew for about a year and a half looking for a house. They were not happy. They wanted to interview other brokers, and I thought interviewing me as a buyer's agent, I've never had that happen before. But they were looking to buy a $12 million home and then potentially selling their home in the $5 million range. So we had this long conversation, and I remember asking her, I said, well, what made you decide to call me, or how'd you find out about me? She says, well, I found a couple of your videos. I said, really? Which ones? Well, she said, I saw your video tour of an area called Stone Canyon Road, which is in Bel Air, which was just a simple driving tour. Camera on the window, talking about the neighborhood, and I said, it's a beautiful neighborhood. It's Bel Air. It's by the Bel Air Hotel. It's very country atmosphere. It's 6-7 minutes from Beverly Hills. But I said in the video, if you're a sun lover, it's not for you because it's a canyon and the sun will rise 2-3 hours later in the morning and it will set 2-3 hours earlier in the afternoon. And so I said to her, what did you like about that video? She says, you were very honest. I said, well, how so? She said, we were about to buy a house on that street and we discovered that by 3 o'clock in the afternoon the pool had no sun, so we didn't buy it. So that was number one. And I said, what was the second video? Oh, I saw your helicopter tour of the most expensive houses in L.A. And I said, well, why did you like that one? She said, well, if you'd spend that much money to do a helicopter tour, you'd spend the money to market my home. And so that was a very interesting first call. So I had to meet her husband, who was a partner in one of the biggest real estate law firms in the country, at 8:30 on a Monday night, and I went to meet them at their home, sat down with my yellow notepad, starting asking question after question about, I spent, 45 minutes on the phone with the wife, but now I wanted to interview the husband, even though they were interviewing me, but I just wanted to know what happened, what was their experience, what were they looking for. It was all really caring about their needs, to see if I was going to be a good fit. And about halfway through the conversation, a half an hour in, I just could feel it was the right moment. I said, Mr. Netsis, I said, I kind of put my notebook down. I said, why don't we just get started and let me work for you as your broker? He says, Christophe, my wife decided to hire you the first time she spoke to you on the phone. I said, then let's just get together and do our business. And then we did. And they bought a house for $10 million. I sold their house for $5 million. They sent me 3 referrals in 90 days. So we did like $26 million in deals in like a 90-day period from those 2 videos. So that was the first time I'd monetized the videos after 4 years. So obviously since that happened, I keep doing more and more videos because obviously it works.
Yeah, it works. And the big takeaway for some of you might be in a very rural area where you don't have 10, 20 million, might not have $2 million homes, and that's okay. Just a simple reminder for our course, Luxury Listing Specialist, we define luxury as 3 times whatever the average sale price for your given market. So it's all relative. If you're in a market where the average sale price is $150,000, where some of our listeners are, well, guess what? $450,000 and above would be considered luxury. So again, sometimes you're doing some of these videos, of course, to get the home sold, but it's going to attract more and more opportunities. So don't forget about that. I shot a video once from a helicopter in Chicago as well, and I was the only agent that I know until this day still that shot a lifestyle video from a helicopter for a home I was selling. And guess what? It opened a lot of doors, and subconsciously we had other clients even verbally tell us, hey, listen, if you're willing to do those types of things, I know my competition isn't. So The good news for many of our listeners, maybe you're not in a market like Beverly Hills where a lot of times they're setting the bar in that market, in your market, Christophe. You have some very competitive
and again, I don't want people to worry. I mean, because, look, I throw these numbers out not to impress anyone. It just happens to be my marketplace. But look, before going to Beverly Hills, my marketplace I was doing from $40,000 to $300,000. That's what I was selling. And the numbers don't matter. A house is a house. And you could take a house here that's $10 million, you plop it in the middle of Missouri, and it's worth $300,000 or $500,000. So the price is inconsequential. You just market it to and how and why based on the marketplace and the buyers. But the thing with videos is I've got my YouTube channel analytics open right now. So in the last 30 days, we've had 782,000 minutes of watch time. So that means, which is shocking to me. I mean, people spent 782,000 minutes watching my videos and 185,000 views of videos just in 30 days. Now, these are videos from, who knows what videos they're watching, videos from 2007 to today. But it's like a running advertisement billboard for me because they're online forever on YouTube and Vimeo and Facebook and all that. And you never know when someone sees a 10-year-old video and they like it and they call you to list or sell their house, no matter what the price range is.
No, you're absolutely right.
And even for our properties we list things that are $500,000, $700,000, $800,000. We do videos for everything. And of course, we're not going to do the same kind of video for a $500,000 condo as you would for a $50 million home. But videos are videos, and video is the number one marketing tool today, and the best way, in my opinion, to promote a property. Period. End of story. Yeah.
Well, some really good information here. I really appreciate your time. So if somebody's got a referral in that Beverly Hills marketplace and they're not, what's the best way for somebody to get in touch with you, Christophe?
Perfect. Well, first of all, I basically work the greater Los Angeles marketplace. My office is in Beverly Hills, but we run about 10, 15 miles north, south, east, and west. So if you have any referrals for the L.A. area generally, or you think it's L.A., let me know, because even if I don't do it or it's not in my specific area, I do know who to refer you to make sure the job gets done. The best way to contact me is via email. My email is Christophe, like Christopher, with no R at the end. So Christopher, like CHRISTOPHE, at Christophe, again, CHOO.com. So that's the best way to get a hold of me. And my website is ChristopheChoo.com or YouTube. Just Google my name and you'll find me all over the place. That's one of the things I've been doing is marketing well enough so that you just Google my name and there's page after page of me on Google. You'll find everything you need to know.
And that's the goal of all the listeners is eventually in your given market, if you're on an appointment, you're talking to a referral source, you can just say the same thing. Hey, Google me and you'll find everything you need to know about me. So that's a great job. You set the bar. Congratulations on your award as well.
Thank you. And thank you for having me today.
Oh, you were a great guest and amazing content. So I'm honored to have you. I know you're a busy man, so thank you.
My pleasure.
So just a reminder for anybody, if you have questions or you want to nominate somebody to be on the next episode, go ahead and shoot me an email, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com. Just a reminder, two things. One, our book, again, it's on Amazon, and if you want more information on our book or our certification, send us an email, michael@marketingluxurygroup. But our free gift, our most amazing gift ever, don't forget, if you want our 3 free gifts for our listenership, which is the Ultimate Listing Blueprint Checklist, a video 56-point checklist, and a free 3-part video series, go ahead and text the word LUXE, LUXE, to 72,000. So take your smartphones out, text the word LUXE, LUXE, to 72000. You'll get those 3 bonus items. My name is Michael Lafitte. Check us out on iTunes or Stitcher, or go to luxurylistingpodcast.com for a previous episode. My name is Michael Lafitte. Continue to raise the bar in real estate, let alone luxury real estate, and prove others wrong. If somebody tells you you can't do it, don't believe them. Use that as motivation to prove them wrong. Have an awesome day and keep raising the bar. Take care.